I remember probably most and vividly about James Reed was his gregarious personality. He had a lot of confidence in himself, but in a good way.
But first of all, he was a team player.
Yes.
He was a coach's dream. I mean, he didn't complain, and like some kids would do, he believed he'll work for you, he'll climb a mountain for you.
He's one of the kids that you don't watch that closely because he's already there. He's already given you everything he's got. You ask him to do something, he does it. He wants to improve, you tell him what he's got to do.
I mean, he'd stay in the weight room with Coach all the time, and we'd run and just dream. And he had, but again, he always had to have that little piece of tissue with him. It was something about that tissue.
He might have been a prankster in a sense, but a prankster always to make the attempt to getting the best out of you.
James Reed played on some outstanding high school football teams at Saginaw High School and helped the Trojans win the school's first Saginaw Valley League title since 1951.
That was the first time, really, that I can remember that we had an opportunity. When I say we, the Saginaw High Athletic Program, the football team and the basketball team felt that we had an opportunity to go back-to-back, meaning football team winning the state championship and the basketball team winning the state championship.
Reed, a 6-foot, 240-pound linebacker for the Trojans, received all-area and all-state honors his senior year in 1996 after recording 117 tackles, 10 sacks, and 2 interceptions.
Yeah, James he developed his strength. He was in a weight room religiously. He didn't miss, and he developed some serious strength.
And he started believing in how strong he was and believing in what it was doing for him, how fast it made him. And
we put Reed on cleaves, and that was the end of the story for that game.
He was a standout in that game. He had exactly 15 tackles.
And when you know what kind of athlete Mateen is, of course most people do, and if James Reed was able to, control him, that's a big job.
He was outstanding, and then after that, Michigan State, Iowa State, everybody else started wanting to know who he was.
Reed received a scholarship to Iowa State University, where he blossomed into a 4-year starter at defensive tackle and was a 3-time All-Big 12 Conference selection.
He's a team player, and wherever the coach needed him, he would go, and even in high school. He decided, that's what it takes to win.
Reed was selected Iowa State's Defensive Lineman MVP in 1997, and in 2000 he earned the school's Knudsen Award after being named the Cyclones' Defensive MVP. His 333 career tackles puts him in the top 10 all-time in Iowa State University history, and he helped ISU to their first bowl win ever.
Welcome, everybody. This is Dan McCarney, the head football coach of North Texas. James Reed and I go back a long ways. You stop and think how we built that thing, James. We couldn't have done it without you. You led the charge. An amazing career, phenomenal career. I remember so many things about you as we turned that Iowa State program around. You elevated the performance of those around you. And I'll never forget that bowl game, first bowl victory in 100 years at Iowa State, where you became real special. You left a great legacy at Iowa State. Never been more proud of a young man than I am you. Congratulations again, man. The Saginaw County Sports Hall of Fame made a great decision to induct you. Tonight, all glory and honor is yours.
Reed clocked a 4.68 40-yard dash time during the NFL Combine, and the 286-pound defensive lineman ultimately was drafted by the New York Jets in the 7th round. He would go on to play 5 years for the Jets, 2 years with the Kansas City Chiefs, and 1 year with the New Orleans Saints. During his 8-year National Football League career, he chalked up 199 tackles and 7 sacks in 99 total games. His best season came in 2005 with the Jets, when he started 15 games and recorded 65 total tackles, including 44 solo stops.
He had a goal that he wanted to be an NFL football player. And
one of the things I think of when I think of James tackling people, when he clasped onto him, there was no breaking the tackle. When he got a hold of them, they were no longer going to be running with the football. He brought them down.
His career came to a halt in 2009 after tearing his Achilles tendon. He's now a married father of 3 and lives in Texas.
I feel like the privileged person to be able to deal with kids like James Reed.
Thank you for being a team player. That's what wins games and keeps teams together with no I in him.